everyone! Last Friday, WWE held the greatest Royal Rumble on Saudi Arabia, a show with a lot of hype behind it. But, was it any good? Let's check it out as I take a look at all the matches that took place. This was a good match, but nothing else. There was no backstory and there won't be any consequences after Cena's victory. They showcased all their signature moves and the crowd was hot for every single thing. It wasn't as good as their encounters at WrestleMania 22 or Night of Champions 2008, and it didn't have to. Its sole purpose was to get the crowd excited with two recognizable names. Pretty good match that the crowd wasn't really invested into. They performed some very creative and hard-hitting moves that represented really well how much this division has improved. Unfortunately, the bout ended before it could reach the next year, but at least the ending sequence was very well executed. Hopefully, Cedric's next defense will get more time. This was an average match with a decent crowd reaction, but they didn't do anything we don't see weekly on TV. It didn't help that no one believed Sheamus and Cesaro had a shot at winning this, since they are now on SmackDown Live. At least, now that Hardy and Wyatt are champions, the Raw Tag Team division can get the reset it has been needing for a while now. This was much shorter than expected, and not as exciting as their encounter on Raw. People didn't care too much about Jinder, and there was one glaring botch when Jeff missed the Whisper in the Wind and Mahal still sold it. So far, the worst match on the card. Just as the WrestleMania match, this was quite short, and the crowd wasn't really invested into it. Unlike that same match, the Usos got more offense and managed to have a decent match for the time given. But still, this was another dominant victory for the Bludgeon Brothers, which is fine given their presence, but they better get some real competition soon. After the two previous matches were too short to be genuinely good, we reached one of the encounters that had the highest expectations. Unsurprisingly, we got an outstanding match filled with exciting spots and great performances by all men involved. Also, I really liked the ending where Rollins came out of nowhere to take the win right in front of Balor. This was exactly the kind of match the crowd needed to get hooked once again on the event. This was a great match while it lasted. It flowed much better than the WrestleMania match and was on its way to beating it on quality until the countdown ending happened. It was a showcase of what these two men are capable of now that Shinsuke has turned heel, and it has made me and many others very excited for the rematch set up at the end. This was as good as it could probably be. The Undertaker hit his signature moves on both Rusev and Aiden English, while Rusev got more offense than expected against the Deadman, even though no one believed he had a chance of winning. The crowd reacted loudly for Taker's offense and enjoyed what was a decent match. This was a solid effort by both men with a surprising ending, but still very frustrating. Roman spearing Brock through the cage looked good, but it was ruined by the fact Roman's feet clearly touched the floor first, but Brock was still declared the winner. At least, it didn't feel as miserable as the WrestleMania match, which must be some kind of improvement, right? This was an average Royal Rumble match. Not the worst WWE has put in its history, but not even close to January's outstanding Rumble match. It suffered from the fact it was way too long, and people didn't care about half the participants. About these participants, it was such a bizarre choice to leave everyone who already competed out of the match. This led to many tag teams and mid-carders filling the ring, as well as the participation of weird choices such as Babatunde, Dan Maida, and Hiroki Sumi. Not everything was bad, though. Daniel Bryan's performance was admirable, Titus O'Neil's fall was hilarious, and Braun Strowman's victory ended the match on a high note. The clear match of the night was the 4-way ladder match, followed by AJ vs Shinsuke, Cedric vs Kalisto, and Cena vs Triple H, while the worst of the event was Jinder vs Jeff and the ending of Roman vs Brock. Overall, this was a fun yet inconsequential event. No titles changed hands, the matches were mostly good but pretty forgettable, and the Royal Rumble itself probably won't have any repercussions on any future stories. It was basically a really glorified house show. The only match worth looking back at will be the Intercontinental title ladder match. Thanks for watching.